to the B. Lenore Show. Here, we will discuss lifestyle, beauty, celebrity gossip, and current events in our own way, my way, B style. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, lovers. How's everybody today? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. It is May 13th, 2025. This is the V. Lenore Show, and I'm your girl, V. Lenore. How y'all doing? Look, I'm trying out a whole nother room to go live in. This time I'm in my bedroom, but I'm hearing the acoustics problem again. I guess I am gonna have to start going live in that doggone studio. Okay, I guess so. I guess so. Or in that man cave, as it feels like to me. All right. Anyway, so bear with me. If you guys can hear me well and it doesn't sound like too echoey, put a one in the chat. And if it sounds a little hollow and problematic, let me know and I'll move. You can put a four in the chat if that's the case. Okay. And do me one more thing, hit that like button if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Hey, the only black but not bitter. Hey, the bushes said. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walk of Shame is here. So is Lunar Brain Fireheart. Yes. Who else I got in here? Let's see. Miss Principal is here. Sarah Colette is here. Miss Nisi, Only Me 23, Nana and Nene. Just Friday 88 is here. Lovely One is here, baby. Wait, would you say Lovely One? Hey, V Mod in chat. I'm hearing Diddy's daughters giving Cassie dirty looks while on the stand. Ugh. How quickly they forget their mama did the same thing too and had a broken nose. Child, but see, kids are gonna be kids, right? And that's his, those are his babies, and they probably love their daddy, of course, right? So the kids are going to do what kids do, which is another reason why the kids shouldn't be in the damn courtroom. Okay? That's the real part right there. Um they're still teenagers, they're still young in the mind, very vulnerable right now. They are without a mother and father, so I'm gonna give the kids a pass. It's these raggedy ass adults that found that it was necessary to have these children in there so that they can hear all this disgusting ish that their nasty ass, dirty ass father has been up to. I mean, the details that have come out, I can't believe they would be so trifling to let them babies sit in there and listen to that. Like I said yesterday, the boys, that's one thing. They're grown, they're boys. For all we know, allegedly, they could have participated, allegedly. So that's one thing. But the girls, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. You would think the sorry ass daddy would be too ashamed to have his daughters in there. But instead, he wants to be out so bad, he uses everybody, including his kids, as tools. I don't respect it. But hey, lovely one. Hey girl, hey. Hey. But child, that shit burns me up. Hey, Sonya Swipe Muscle T-shirt. Yes. Miss Buckeye 99. Did I say hi? Hey, the only A Shell loves, just Nikki. Miss Lady. Lady T. Hey, let's talk about it all. Diva Ray is here. Jaylon Jones is in here. Hey, TD Will. Uh-huh. It's that bullshit. Hey, Lexi the Law Nerd. Hey, Del Soul. Child, is that trifling shit that I can't deal with. M. Alford, hi, how are you? What you say, Lily One? The twins are 18, Chance is 19. They have no business here. And I agree. I understand that they are 18, 19, but come on, they still babies, they girls. Why have them in there? Just trifling. Just trifling. But I don't expect kids to do anything different than to protect their dad, uh-uh. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Just using the kids no matter what. Hi, EP. A sister from New Jersey. Libra lady. Nestos and Sonia's pen pal. Yes, y'all in here. Y'all in here. Please hit that like button. Yeah, I don't get it. It's just trifling. Just on a whole nother level of trifling. So anyway, I think I got everybody that dropped down for the most part. Thank you so much for being here. Hey Aisha Loves, can you put this on subscriber mode, please? I really, really appreciate it. If you can, because I know she's probably working and listening or whatnot. So otherwise I can she says in cause of work. No problem. Actually, I'll do it. Hold on. Hold on a second for me, y'all. Do 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 la 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 la. Y'all, anyway, it's ridiculous. I've been over there listening to the verbatim tweets, if you will, or as close as verbatim as possible. So I was listening to that being broken down. I'm gonna go to our go-to New York Post, and we're going to read the generalized summaries of the testimony that they are posting on their website. Hold on one second, y'all. Oops, let me do that and this. Okay. So we are on subscriber mode. We are on the road. Can y'all hear me? Oh, wait a minute. Child, hold on now. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Okay, okay, okay. Ooh, because I was just in another. Hold on, let me close that one. Excellent. Okay. So we are on subscriber mode. We are on the road to 8,000 subs. Okay. I would love, 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 love to hit 10,000 subs by the end of 2025. I'd really appreciate your help in doing that. And you can do that simply by just hitting the like button and subscribing and sharing the live out. When you share out the live and people see what you're watching, maybe they'll want to watch too. Okay, so yes, please, please share the live and hit that like button. Puts me out there in that doggone algorithm. Okay, yes. Now, so I've heard some very interesting things today. Cassie did hit the stand today. As many of you already know, I'm sure some of you have been listening as well to some of the stuff I've been listening to, and some of it make your heads blow off. Okay, make your head explode. Okay, it will do it. It will make your head explode. Now that's why if it'll make my head explode, and I'm a whole grown ass woman, all right, who has lived multiple decades, okay, and is in the same age group as Diddy. Honey, if it'll make my head explode, it should be making them babies' heads explode. Okay. Just nastiness. Now that shit I just heard before I came over here, that's what effed me up. I was sitting over here with my mouth on the floor. The fact that we had to go there and listen to this about what happens at the freak off. But not so much what happens at the freak off. What happens Child, we'll get to it. What happens when all the freaking is done and they go into a separate room? Jesus, I was done. I was done. I was done. I was disgusted. I was flabbergasted. I was a lot of things. All right. I was a lot of things after I heard that one. And we'll get to it. Okay. Now, I think they tried to stop around 5. Have they stopped, y'all? Because they were taking a second break for whatever reason, and I wasn't sure if they were done. But I was done. Oh my God. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. But y'all, the nastiest shit. This shit nasty. He said more than that, KK. He was doing things. They stopped, Lexi? Okay. All right. So we'll be able to get caught up. Child. He didn't want it. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? Okay. Hey, Sleepy Libra. My God. So today was the second day of testimonies. And the state, I'm sorry, not the state, but the United States have put up a few witnesses. Yesterday, we heard from a couple of witnesses yesterday. Today, uh, we have Cassie on the stand. And, as many of us know, Cassie is the star witness. This is the United States star witness is Cassie. And we'd be lying if we did not give her props for the fact that he is in this position today because of Cassie, honey. Cassie set the ball rolling when she filed a lawsuit against him, and within 24 hours, he has settled that lawsuit. They say it was for tens of millions. No one knows the exact amount. It's been rumored to be 30 million. Who knows? But at the end of the day, she filed that lawsuit, and it was closed by the end of business the following day. All right. And there are a lot of allegations she had in that lawsuit. She talked about drug usage. She talked about escorts, and she talked about these parties, these live sex performances that were referred to as freak offs. I think they called them hotel nights. And then there was another name for them. But at the end of the day, they were like these big sex parties. And this is something that that we've learned about as we heard about all the 1,000 bottles of baby oil that were at the house. People have suggested that there could possibly have been something mixed into the baby oil, different drugs that have a paralyzing effect, but we have not heard that in or come into evidence or even talked about at this point. But they have talked a lot about baby oil. Now that they have talked about, they done talked about that baby oil. They even asked what brand. Okay, it was Johnson's and Johnson's, honey. That's the best kind, honey. They be smelling all good, but it also be causing problems. Say talcum powder will put you in the grave. Okay, put you right there in that grave, allegedly. That's what they had said. Um, but nevertheless, he had many bottles of that here King Knights. That's right. King Knights was the other name. Thank you, A. Let's talk about it all. Hey, Queen Black. So yeah, they talked about that baby oil, baby. And then I could have sworn I heard they talked about some Glade candles. I said child, they is getting record. They gonna get record number sales. This Johnson's baby oil and these doggone Glade candles, honey. Because I could have sworn I heard them say Glade, child. I said, now we. But I'm gonna see if they mention it. If they mention the brand of the candles. I could have just made that up, but I thought I heard him had said Glade. And I just want y'all to know that Glade is made by S.C. Johnson. So I don't know if somebody in Diddy's ancestry is a Johnson or something, but he sure got a damn type of brand. He like, if they got Johnson in their name, he might buy it. Now that's what I took from the testimony today. Okay. Buy this baby oil over here, get these candles over there. Now that's what I heard that today. Okay. Now, in addition to that, we heard some other things, and we're going to get into it. And they were so nice. All right. That's what I thought. Lexi, I know. See, I didn't think I was that crazy. I know I'm crazy, but ain't that crazy, right? So they did say Glade, huh? They did. They used Glade candles to light the room and to drip all over their bodies. Okay, I had heard it. I had heard it. Tell me that part. I heard them say that the candles, the Glade candles, would be dripping. Okay, now I like a good old Glade candle, especially that lavender scent. All right. Yeah, oh no, you gotta now look, I ain't got time. Bush Baby said cheap candles. Why not Bath and Body Works or at least a Yankee Glade? Because you don't waste that shit like that. You don't waste no Bath and Body Works candles, pouring that shit around and letting that shit spill. Hell no. They smell too good and they cost too much. The fuck? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You get a good old Glade. Glade is good. It's functional. Okay, it's good. They smell good too, girl. So you get a good old Glade, but don't you mess with my damn Bath and Body Works damn candles. You must be crazy. And nobody got time for that in this damn economy. I wish you would pour a damn Bath and Body Works wax on my body. The fuck? Anywho, that's right. We ain't got that kind of money to be wasting. You got to be putting your coins away. You see, they getting rid of everything. Girl, these tariffs is whipping my ass. Like I got time to be pouring down some damn Bath and Body Works and Yankee candles on me. Fuck. Okay, so now let's get back into this though. Okay. So we're gonna go through the tweets, not the tweets, but the updates from the New York Times. Shout out to the New York Times. Hey, put some newspapers in the chat. How about that? Can y'all put some newspapers in the chat? To shout out our friends over there at the New York Post, baby. Or the New York Times, my bad. At the New York Times, y'all put some newspapers in the chat, honey, because we want to thank them. We want to thank whoever had to sit in there and listen to this nasty shit that was talked about today. Yeah, we need to pray for them. We need to thank them. We need to get some of that Johnson's baby oil and pray over that and then douse it on their ears and their eyes. And that's just what needs to happen. Okay? Because these people are out here, they're doing a lot. They're really sacrificing to come out here. Okay, and listen to this bullshit. Would you say the only black man out better putting baby batter on his child? No, 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 no. That shit right there took me all the way out, all the way out, all the way out. My God, my God. It was a lot, EP. It was a lot of things. It was a lot of things that got worse from there. Okay, that's mild. Okay, this one which you got written here, EP, that's mild. That other shit was too heavy. Okay. The other shit was way too heavy. So we're going to get into what we learned today about these nasty mother suckers. Okay. At the same time, we're going to listen to what details the United States of America is putting before us to understand why this nasty mother sucker needs to be locked up for life. Okay, we're gonna pay attention on tonight. Hey Texas Toy, hello. Okay, all right. So this segment, this quick commercial break, is the beauty segment. As you can see, Cassie is the star. You see now, this is not her coming in today, but this is just a beautiful picture. And since Texas Toy is here and she says that we don't talk about beauty, here we go. There's beauty right before your eyes. Okay, that's beauty. Okay, she's a beautiful girl. And there it is. Thank you, Texas Toy, and happy belated birthday, Heffa. All right. Okay. Next time you announce your birthday, bring your ass back over here the next day. All right. All right. Just because it's your birthday don't mean you off work. You did not call off. Okay. All right. We had a whole live scheduled on your birthday and you didn't show up. Get your ass over here to work. Next time, call in. Okay. Now, happy belated birthday. Huh? Huh? Shake your damn head. That's right. It's the beauty segment because of you. Because you claim we don't talk about beauty. So there it is, beauty. You see her? There she is. All right? You are welcome, Heffa. You are welcome. Okay? Happy belated birthday to Texas Toy. Okay? Now, all right. So this is the beautiful Cassie. Okay. So she got on the stand today. Let me gotta go to hold on, y'all. Come over here. All right. So yes, this is today. And it says here that Cassandra Ventura, the star witness of the federal ex trafficking and racketeering trial of the music mogul Sean Combs, cried on the stand on Tuesday as she testified about drug fueled ex sessions with male people who sell their stuff that could last several days and made her feel disgusting and humiliated. Miss Ventura, who is known as Cassie, had accused Mr. Combs of rape and years of physical abuse in a 2023 lawsuit that was quickly settled in 24 hours. Okay. This is key. 24 hours. That tells you everything. Her testimony is vital to the prosecution's case in Mr. Combs' criminal trial in federal district court in Lower Manhattan. Okay. Now, so I'm going to go to the end of this article because they gave us updates all throughout. Another site, and I mentioned them yesterday, that you may want to check out is Inner City Press. Their tweets, they sort of give pretty close to verbatim, I would guess, notes. Because they sort of say, okay, Cassie said this, the attorney said that, Cassie said this, the judge said that. It kind of gives you that sort of vibe. And so I was listening to that earlier, people reading that. But New York Times sort of gives like a little general summary of each of those posts, if you will. Okay. All right. So here's where we're starting today. I think this is it. Let's see. Okay. So we're going to start right here. All right. And again, the New York Times, they have multiple reporters, I'm guessing, that are in that room because each of these entries, there may be some that are providing entries more than others, but at the end of the day, they're all kind of like coming behind each other and giving a little synopsis of what's going on. All right. Now I won't be able to look at the chat a whole lot. I will stop periodically. I am working from one screen, honey. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, child, over here. How I'm gonna set up. Let me make this bigger for y'all so y'all can see what I is reading. Okay. So again, I'm trying to figure out like what my setup is really gonna be, where it's gonna be. He's telling me to go in his studio and all, but it's his space, and it feels too much like his space. So I don't really want to be in there like that to do my show, but I will. I will. I will. Um, but I still need my own second screen. He does. I can hook up to his stuff in there, y'all. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So there's that. So y'all just bear with me. So I won't be able to look at the chat the whole time. So moderators, I will be really depending on you guys to just keep your eyes peeled for anything crazy. And also maybe answer some questions that I may not see that because I'll stop periodically to come over and look at the chat, but I won't be able to look the whole time. Okay. What y'all saying? Texas Toy said the defense acting like these women just wanted to be with Diddy. Nobody wanted his ugly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. That's their job, right? Their job is to act like, oh, this man. Everybody was, involved in this process. Everybody consented to these acts, and yes, my client is a freakazoid robot, but so are these hoes, okay? And these hoes just ain't loyal. I mean, I feel like that's where their whole defense lies. That's where they going with it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Sonya's white muscle t-shirt. They wanted his money. They wanted fame. They wanted a hit record. And Diddy was doing this, that, and, Diddy was trying to give them opportunities or whatever. That's kind of like how they're playing it. And there's probably some truth to it, right? Because whenever you're trying to make an argument about something, you gotta take some truth, right? Then mix it in to sort of justify what you're saying. Um, but I I think most people are not buying that. I still am wanting to hear the evidence. I am a little nervous though that there is going to be some trouble proving that while I don't believe that, what they're saying, I don't believe that these women just wanted fame and just did whatever and agreed to it. I don't believe that. But I want there to be evidence to prove that it possibly couldn't be just that. And one of the things that stands out is because, earlier, they talk about how Cassie was instructing the people on what to do, and she acted like she enjoyed it, and people like to say, out of jealousy women do certain things, and it's the Sonya Waller Durham or Sonya Durham Waller theory of life, that women, when they get mad at you in a relationship, they just say anything to tear you down and this, that, and the other. I want there to be some evidence that, disproves anything that the defense try to come up with as to why Cassie would come out and say this, why she would stay with him for 10 years and things of that nature. That, she could have left, but she didn't leave. Like, I really can't wait till we get into the psychology of what's going through the mind of a woman when she's in an abusive situation, and how she's been groomed, and how that grooming is a form of control that he has, you know, put over on her. Right? It's Stockholm syndrome. It totally is. So I can't wait till we get into that when they bring on the experts to really break that down. I understand how that works. better than people realize. I understand how that happens. I get it because people, you can't explain it. If you've ever been, if you've ever dealt with any form of abuse, any form, you got to understand that the abuse, there were things that led up to the abuse, and then there are things and practices that people do after the abuse too. And I'm talking about the abuser. There are things that the abuser is doing before the abuse takes place. They don't typically come out the gate whooping your ass or taking advantage of you. Not out the gate. They come across as, really kind, sweet, charming, and I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm saying even other forms of abuse. People will be nice to you at first, typically, and they bring you in, and then they make you feel a way about yourself, and then the next thing you know, the abuse occurs, and then after the abuse, oh, they're sorry, or you made them do it, or and then you start to think, well, maybe I did make them do it, or it's a whole thing. So I can't wait till they get to that part of the process of explaining that, because yeah, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so let's get started. So uh what was I gonna say? So moderators, please keep an eye out on the chat. All right. Okay, let me take comments down and let's get into it. Okay. So the trial continues to draw throngs of journalists, podcasters, and internet content creators who show up early in the morning or even the night before. When court adjourned yesterday, the line to get in for the next morning was already 10 people long. If who was I watching yesterday? And they said the people right now are getting in line for tomorrow. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Dennis. I don't know who it was, but somebody said that. And I thought to myself, well, damn. They were like, is that the line right there for tomorrow? Yes. So anyway, these people ain't playing. Today's crowds are a bit smaller, but they're still turning the area outside the federal courthouse into a scene of nervous anticipation for people trying to get a seat inside the courtroom itself. Okay. Sean Combs just entered the courtroom wearing a light colored crew neck sweater. He hugged some of his lawyers and greeted his family assembled in the spectators gallery. Okay. Um, yeah, okay. All right. So, Judge Subramanian is addressing a request by more than a dozen media outlets, including the New York Times, to allow public attendees of the trial to view video evidence of the sexual encounters known as freak-offs at the center of the prosecution's case. So, wait a minute. So, so at least, or more than, I should say, 12, more than 12 media outlets, including the New York Times. The New York Times said, us too now. Us too. We want this too. They want the public attendees of the trial to be able to see the freak off videos, child. And I ain't lying, I want them to see it too. I need y'all to see it. I need y'all to see them damn freak offs. I need you to recognize people's faces. And then I need you to come out here and tell us what the F you saw in the freak off. But that's what I need, okay? I don't know if y'all need that, but that's what I need. Prosecutors have said they want to seal these pieces of evidence because they involve sexual conduct, including the nudity of women involved in their case. The judge seems inclined to grant the motion, saying there is a heightened First Amendment concern during an open trial, but he did not make a ruling. Okay. All right. Now, Daniel Phillip, who said he was paid to have SDX with Cassie while Diddy watched and took care of himself, is back on the stand this morning. He is being cross-examined by one of Combs's lawyers, Xavier Donaldson. All right. So we're going to go forward. In his questioning, Sean Combs's lawyer, Xavier Donaldson, is trying to establish that Cassie was a completely willing participant in sexual encounters with him. Was Ventura the one who paid you? Yes, Philip replies. She wasn't drunk or high? Philip agrees she was not. Is it fair to say she was in complete control of everything she did? Donaldson asks. I cannot say that, Philip says. Good answer, Philip. Good answer. All right. All right. They're going to make Cassie out. Look, two things can be true. She could be a freakazoid. She could have wanted fame. She could have also been a freak that didn't want to get as freaky as he forced her to get. She could still be a freakazoid that has been physically and sexually and mentally and emotionally abused. Like, a lot of things can be true at the same time, and that's the part that's problematic for me. What? So, okay. Philip testified yesterday that Combs threw a liquor bottle that missed Ventura and then dragged her by her hair into a bedroom. The defense is lingering on an important part of Phillips's testimony, that after the abuse, Combs said, "Are y'all ready to continue?" referring to the SDX. Donaldson is suggesting that Phillip told law enforcement something different in an interview in late 2023, that Combs told him to leave the hotel after the dispute. The reason this is so important is because prosecutors are trying to prove that Combs forced or coerced Cassie into SDX. If Combs pushed Ventura to continue with SDX after he beat her, that could be powerful evidence, right? So that's the coercion, that's the force. Okay, Daniel Phillip is being questioned about how often he saw Cassie under the influence of drugs. Phillips testified yesterday that it was only once, and at that time, Combs canceled their planned sexual encounter. Xavier Donaldson, Combs' lawyer, is trying to highlight that drugs were not a significant part of their sexual relationship, and that issue speaks to consent and whether or not there was coercion in the relationship between Combs and Ventura. All right, so the cross-examination of Daniel Phillip, who was paid to have sexual encounters with Cassie, is getting into the nature of his relationship with the singer. It is certainly a complicated one. Phillips said that he could be paid from around 700 to 6,000 for each encounter with Combs. With each encounter with Combs watching. But he testified that he had never been paid for SDX before their first night together, and that he didn't care if he got paid one way or another. Said, didn't care if I got paid one way or another. Philip agrees that he wanted their relationship to be deeper than just these voyeuristic sexual nights. Had she ever given me the chance to date her, Philip said of Ventura, I absolutely would have. At least he honest, child. Okay, so that's a view of in front of the courthouse. It says the cross-examination of Daniel Phillip has ended, and the prosecution is getting ready, getting another chance to question him. The prosecution's second witness, a man named Daniel Phillip, who said he was paid to have SDX with Cassie in front of Sean Combs, is finishing his testimony on the second day of the trial. The defense tried to elicit testimony from him showing that Ventura was a willing participant in these encounters. And after Philip finishes on the stand, we are likely to hear from the prosecution's star witness, Ventura herself. All right. So now, the prosecutor questioning Daniel Phillip, Maureen Comey, acknowledges that Cassie may have appeared to enjoy herself during these actual encounters, but she doesn't want the jury to forget the testimony about Sean Combs's role and his violence. Through all of your actual activity with Cassie, who was in the room? Comey asked. Sean Combs, myself, and Cassie, Philip replies. And is Sean Combs the same man who threw a liquor bottle across the room when Cassie asked him to wait a minute? Comey responds. Philip says yes. All right. They're just driving that point home. Daniel Phillips is done with his testimony. It is likely that Cassandra Ventura is up next. All right. Okay, so that's Cassie's husband. This is a picture of Cassie's husband. Says the defense asked that Cassandra Ventura's husband, Alex Fine, be barred from watching her testimony. Sean Combs's lawyers say they may need to call Fine as a witness later. The prosecution pushed back, saying that Ventura needs her support system while on the stand. They met in the middle. The prosecution agreed that Fine would leave for Ventura's testimony regarding the allegation that Combs raped her in 2018. All right. Let me check y'all's see what y'all saying in here, honey. Let me see what y'all had said before I move on. What are y'all saying in here? Lovely one said Diddy came to court walking all slow like Eddie Murphy in life while holding a Bible. Amazing it didn't burn his hands. Child, just like his president with that Bible upside down. Okay. Y'all better check them Bibles they be using. Hey Shay B. Shay B said IS couldn't get in this morning and she said her knees hurting. Looking a hot mess. Well, where's her stool? Why do her knees hurt? Don't she have a stool? She got a whole plastic stool that collapses, can fit in her neck pillow and along with her luggage. Now, why doesn't she have that damn stool in her neck pillow? What in the hell is going on? See, these people, they are so unappreciative. Them people gave her that stool for a reason. And them headbands. So I know her hair is, and I know her hair looked good. I know her hair had to look good because she had a bunch of headbands. Okay. Now you ain't gonna tell me that them headbands. Anyway. Okay. Sorry, girl. Sorry. Next time, bring your stool. Bring your stool. I don't know why she didn't bring her stool. That's crazy. Yes, Bush baby, victim shaming will backfire. Yeah, it's never a good thing. Okay. Wait. Texas Toy said, no, Shay B, you must have her mistaken for someone else. Girl, she got a special pass. Right. What is she talking about? She passed the background check. She was congratulated for completing, for passing the pre-registration process. She got her a whole media pass. The media pass, they say, criminals can't do the court thing. So she's in. So I don't understand. I don't understand what we're talking about, but okay, fine. Fine, whatever. Hit the like button though. Hit the like button. Okay? Now, Ebony said, I agree. She could have said yes 100 times and said no one time. No means no. That's right. She could be butt ass naked walked across the street doing the splits, doing whatever else she want to do to herself and anything else. But as soon as she says she don't want you touching her, she doesn't want to do this, she doesn't want to take part in this, then it is a no. And if she's under the influence of drugs, can she actually consent? Like, that's the other thing. Can you consent when you're not in your right mind? It's just a question, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's so shackle shuffle walk of shame. Not with her past, and after passing that background check, I don't understand why she couldn't get in. It's crazy, it's stupid. I don't know what's going somebody's gonna lose their job behind that. Now someone is gonna lose their job. Okay. Because she was supposed to be in there like swimwear. Okay. In like Flynn. All right. In there like swimwear. That was her thing. Um, Texas Toy said, Misa better save that walker for when her son gets in trouble. I hear he acts like that pappy. So I guess Misa did come in on a walker, and I guess she has a boot on her foot. So she probably had a bunion, y'all, and something happened. She had her bunion replaced, and it just so happens that the damn trial was happening now. I'm sure she needs her walker, but I don't think it. They were acting as if yesterday, like this woman was a old cripple that she was about to. Anyway, child, I don't know what's going on over here. Because if I was me, so I wouldn't have been there. How about that? How about that? Now he done whooped her ass in the past. He done went after her, whooped her so bad that she ran around the car and then hid up under it and stayed up under the car until she felt it was safe to come from out of the car because of this nigga. Ain't no way in hell. I don't give a damn what he's paid for. Ain't no way in hell I would be up there caping for this raggedy ass piece of shit. That's what's crazy. These people, I mean, and I get it. She could have Stockholm syndrome too. It's like he trained them well. Because when I say they still, like, she ain't got no baby. She got a son who's a grown man who allegedly has been present for some of this shit. And I just think at some point you just gotta Stanford was right. Now, if they were little small children, I would say, well, maybe that's different. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I just don't know why we're here. Um, Wait, lovely one. How's she picking a fight with Mary J. and she ain't got two good legs to stand up? Y'all ain't right. Y'all are not right. Mm-mm. Just Nikki, what you say is that all that twerking for Jesus? That's why her knees is bad. It's that, and she didn't bring her plastic stool. I don't understand where that stool is. Okay, somebody tell me where the stool is. Allah is need. I'm sorry. IS need to bring a stool in and a stool softener. Jesus, my God. My God. Yes, the strenuous background check. I don't know why that girl couldn't have got in there. It don't make no sense to me. But anyway, um, wait. CJ said, why did the daughters run out the court? I did hear something like they left a couple of times and that they were in and out kind of thing. I think it's because of the stuff they were hearing being said. I don't know. That shit is crazy. It's just crazy. And see you can see, here's the thing. That's why I keep saying I don't know why they would want those girls in that courtroom. I understand they are legal adults. They can vote. They can buy I don't know. Can they buy a pack of cigarettes? Like I they can vote. That much I do know. They can maybe get an apartment. That's all I know that they can do. They can't even go get a drink right now. They can't get no weed. They can't, they still babies. And they just are coming into their adulthood. but they're girls. And he knows he was on some nasty F-ish. So why would he even want them girls in there listening to that mess? But as I said before, they had a relationship with Cassie. Cassie says in the testimony today, we'll get to it, but she says, she moved, she wanted to be close to the kids or something. Like she loved those kids and they loved her, I'm sure. And that's probably why, if they're giving her dirty looks, that's probably why they're giving her the dirty looks, because they feel like she has betrayed them, you know? She has betrayed them. When the truth is, they just don't know their dad. And they've been groomed to, or prepared, I should say, that, oh, you're going to hear some things that are true and some that aren't true. And you know, this woman, we did so much with her. She was a part of our family, and look at what she's doing now, and that sort of thing. Like they got those girls mad at her, those kids mad at her, and anybody else that comes against this. Anyway, would you say, hi, allegedly, Annie? Diddy just proved that money is the root of all evil. Everyone bought and paid for. He paid Cassie 20 million. We don't know what amount he paid her, but it's my understanding it's very hefty, tens of millions, sort of thing. Hey, Snoopalicious, hello. They are the age that Cassie was when they met. My God, my God. Okay, y'all. So let's get back into this. Hold on. So just so y'all know, this is what we're looking at. This is what the jury is seeing. They're seeing this beautiful, wholesome looking young woman who is very, very pregnant. Like could go in labor on the stand kind of pregnant. Allegedly, she's due on the 15th. Allegedly. I don't know if that's for sure, but that is the rumors that she is due in a couple of days. So, they have to be mindful of the optics of what they look like if they attack this woman, if they upset her too much and she has to go into labor. So this is what they are looking at while they are hearing this testimony. Okay. So here we go. Ventura just walked into the courtroom with the jury present, and she is pregnant in her third trimester. She is the epicenter of this entire case. Without her lawsuit in November 2023 that accused Sean Combs of physical and sexual abuse, it's likely none of this would be happening. Combs turned back in his chair to see her walk in. So he turned around to watch her walk into the courtroom. Ventura is asked to describe her relationship with Combs. There were violent arguments that would usually result in some sort of physical abuse, dragging, different things of that nature, she said. Ventura is being asked by prosecutors to describe what a freak off was. It basically entails the hiring of an escort and setting up this experience so that I could perform for Sean, she says in halting speech. It involves Combs being able to watch me with the other person and actually direct us on what we are doing, she says. Eventually, it became a job for me, pretty much. Hello? Now, that is what we have heard too, that this became the job, that it was no longer probable that she was going to be some huge star or that he was really going to publish her music. She was always writing music and preparing, and she's staying physically fit, but mainly for the freak offs. Like he wanted her to stay physically fit, go to the doctor, be good for the purpose of doing these freak offs. Because as you will hear, they were doing these weekly, and some went from a few hours to a few days. So, it's the thing is, it has been rumored, and I have not heard them touch on this today, how much she was paid really, but it was rumored that she was earning six figures a month. This is a rumor. Six figures a month to do these freak offs. Now I don't know if that's true, because they also said that that's what Carisha, aka Young Miami, was also allegedly getting a six figure monthly stipend for the freak offs. Now again, all of this is alleged. All of this is alleged. So Cassie, the singer and model known as, well, it says Cassandra Ventura, the singer and model known as Cassie, began testifying for a federal jury on Tuesday morning in the ex-trafficking and racketeering case against Sean Combs, recalling a pattern of physical abuse and psychological control that she said long dominated her life. In the first minutes of her testimony, Miss Ventura was asked about prosecutors to describe the more than decade-long relationship she had with Mr. Combs. Oh, Lord. Okay. So Ventura is describing the complex nature of her relationship with Sean Combs from their first freak offs. And she says that those events caused her nervousness and confusion. She says that she didn't understand how these encounters could be a turn on, but she felt a responsibility to please Combs. I was confused, nervous, but also loved him very much, she says. Okay. So some are saying, well, how could she do this? Da, 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 da. Well, because she said she loved him. She said she was in love. She's young, you know, she's on drugs. Hell, it's a whole lot of factors going on here. He's showering her with money and gifts. At the same time, he's abusing the shit out of her, you know. Um, Sean Combs ultimately controlled a lot of my life, Ventura says. Over time, she says the videos he shot of her during sexual encounters were blackmail materials, which she feared could be put on the internet. He had many resources to do that. So it says that Ventura is visibly pregnant, 8.5 months. Sean Combs' lawyer said that the prosecutors offered her water and she is expected to take breaks in what could be 4 days of testimony. Sis could be out here for 4 days with them looking at this sweet, wholesome, beautiful, very pregnant, married woman and mother. Okay. So, Diddy, put your fucking seatbelt on, baby, because as you can see, she's here for the shits. All right. And she's here about business. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, 4 days. Cassandra Ventura is speaking softly on the stand and lifting a tissue to dab at her nose and eyes. So she's crying. Ventura was asked what she knew of Sean Combs when she met him around 2005 when she was 19. I just knew that he was this larger than life entrepreneur, musician, was a fan of the music. I didn't know too much about him personally. Soon after, she says she signed a 10-album deal with Combs' label Bad Boy. Ventura was asked why she wanted to be around Sean Combs. I wanted to be around Sean for the same reasons as everyone else at the time, she testified. He was just this exciting, entertaining, fun guy that also happened to have, my career in his hands. So Cassandra Ventura is describing life with Sean Combs once she started dating him. This lifestyle was much different, she says. He had assistants at his beck and call. He could get anything done quickly. He had respect from everyone and he traveled quite a bit. At the beginning of her relationship with Combs, she says, I think I was just enamored by him. We were just having a good time. So here's a picture that they've highlighted here. I'm not sure if this picture, let me see what year they saying this picture was taken. Or are they saying it? No, there's no caption. But hold on. Yeah, there we go. She's a beautiful girl. Oh my God, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Okay. Ventura is explaining the complexities of her relationship with Sean Combs. At times, she is describing excitement, attraction, a whirlwind. Their romance began on a trip to Miami where they had sex on a boat and he gave her a blue dolphin ecstasy pill. Okay. But when she didn't answer his phone calls, she says he could call her incessantly or have his assistants and security personnel track her down. Mm-mm-mm. Sean Combs's moods were extreme. Ventura says he would object if she was being a brat. She adds, "Make the wrong face, and the next thing I knew, I was getting hit in the face." Mm, hold on, did I just skip something? Sean Combs' security personnel was around 24 hours a day. Cassandra Ventura says security protected him, kept an eye on me. Infidelity and jealousy were part of their relationship, Cassandra Ventura says. I was insanely jealous, but she says she moved to Los Angeles because I was in love and I wanted to be near him. Let's be clear. This jealousy thing, I'm sure he fueled all of that. I think that's part of his grooming process too. I think he pits these women against each other. He puts them in very demeaning positions. The way when you think about how we've heard Carisha, aka Young Miami, talk to Gina, the woman that they believe to be witness number 3 that has disappeared. She's the young lady that made an appearance on Tasha K. I believe that it's because of him that those women go at each other, that Cassie had feelings about Kim, that Kim had feelings about her friend who is Chance's mother. Like, Diddy, I'm sure Misa had problems with these girls at some point. Like all of these women, he keeps all these women together. He wants to be able to roll in and out of everybody's damn bed. Whenever he feels like it, he wants to bring other mother suckers into the bed as he feels like it. This man and this whole situation was set up for it was just set up to be toxic on purpose. That's what I believe. It's a mess. All right. As Cassandra Ventura testifies, she sometimes shifts in her seat and puts her hands on her pregnant belly. You can best believe that that is also something that they have talked to her about. Can I say this for sure? No, I wasn't there. But you can best believe they done told this lady how to sit in that box, how loud to speak, how not to sound aggressive, to how to look innocent, how to dress when you get in there, where to position your hands. Yeah, we need you to remind us throughout the whole thing. You pregnant, you're delicate, you're a mother, you're a wife. You are not the person that he turns you into in that relationship. You are something else, and it's because of child. All of this shit is strategy. Now I'm not saying all those things. There isn't some truth to it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. Oh, here we go. Going. There. Cassie is talking about the apartments where she lived in Los Angeles and how close they were to Sean Combs' house. At one apartment, she says they traveled between the buildings on a golf cart. Damn, they were that close? Damn. It's interesting that he lives close to apartments on any level, but okay. The prosecution's star witness, Cassie, is deep into her testimony about her relationship with Sean Combs. She began by describing his physical abuse, dragging her, kicking her, stomping on her, and her anxiety surrounding the voyeuristic ex that he introduced her to. Not known in the public lexicon as a, now known in the public lexicon as a freak off. Ventura next went back to the beginning, describing how she met Combs at 19, fell in love, and saw him taking more and more control over her life and career. She describes a parochial personality who would pay for her rent in Manhattan, but also frequently tell her to fix your face and watch your mouth. If Combs couldn't find her, he would send security guards or personal assistants to locate her. My God. That's- mm. I was about to say, he act like he her daddy, but that brings us to another part, and I'm sure we're about to get to it soon, about what she calls him and why she calls him that. Jesus. When she lived in Los Angeles, Cassie says she had her own apartments, but Sean Combs had keys and used them whenever he wanted. It was a stomach in knots moment when he visited, she says, because she never knew what mood Combs would be in, whether he would yell and bang on her door or come in smooth. Mm-mm. Over the course of her record deal with Bad Boy, Cassie says she recorded hundreds of songs. Some were released officially, some were leaked on the internet, and some just didn't see the light of day. She is asked how many full albums were not released as part of her 10-album deal. 9, she said. The decision, she says, was Sean Combs. He never intended to let her out of that deal. First of all, who does a 10-album deal? Joe. Okay. Anyway, Cassie testifies that partying with Sean Combs and freak-offs took a big chunk of my life. She recalls staying up for days on end, drinking, taking drugs, and having sex with strangers. The freak-offs ranged from roughly 36 hours to 4 days, though they could last longer with breaks. Then she would need to recover from the drugs, dehydration, and sleep deprivation. The freak offs became a job where there was no space to do anything else but to recover and just try to feel normal again, she says. Jesus. Cassie has left the witness stand for a lunch break. Court is expected to resume at 1 p.m. Okay, so let me come back and just take a look at y'all's. Ugh, look at y'all's comments, baby. Because, baby, this a mess. This a lot. Do you hear me? This is a lot. Hey, Loving Life. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Shirley's divorce finally. Did I say out of y'all? Shit, ain't no telling at this point. Hey, Jay Breezy. Yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a whole lot. Hold on. Let me see what y'all saying over here. Miss Lady saying, "Oh, child, she must have been scared to blink." I'm sure she was. I'm sure she was scared to blink. Y'all hit the like button for me. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, he might then lovely ones here saying he might go off while looking at a bottle of water. It sounds like he was very volatile. Texas Toy said Carisha seemed to love it for the money. I would love to see her testify against him. She ain't gonna testify against him. She ain't gonna testify. She's trying. I feel like Carisha's trying to erase what happened. I think she sees the writing on the wall. He's not gonna make it. I think she's trying to separate from it. But I don't know that I'm not gonna say nobody could like that situation, but I think Carisha may have still been on the early end of the grooming process. I mean, she's over there talking like she loves it and she liked it and all that. And I'm sure that's how she possibly got her show, was because of her jobs as a freak off sex worker, if you will. Because if you remember, her and JT got into it because JT basically called her a whore. Okay. And she was offended by it, but ain't that what they are? If you're getting paid to do sex acts, isn't that what that is? So they say Carisha has had a nice little stipend. Um, she was one of his girlfriends because that's how he gets down, I guess. I don't know, but you see how she was going at Gina, and uh, yeah, I don't know. All this shit's messy and disgusting. And one day, and Carisha probably didn't get to the part where he was beating her ass and all of that, but it probably would have gotten there. If this continued on long enough, he'd have brought somebody else that would have made Carisha feel intimidated in the same way that she made Gina intimidated, the same way Gina was intimidated by Cassie, the same way that Cassie was intimidated by Kim, the same way I bet Kim and Misa probably had problems in the beginning. We know that Chance is the daughter of one of Kim's friends who was in Kim's well, not wedding, but she was a good friend of Kim's. And that's how it so this man uses these women to come at each other, kind of like R. Kelly. If you listen to R. Kelly, sound like those girls were competing with one another too for his attention. These insecure, sorry pieces of ish niggas. It's just trash and disgusting. Just fucking trash. Anywho, what else is in here? What else y'all saying over here? Oh, wait a minute. Justin's mom said, we talking about Orlando Brown v. Oh, he said he wanted to testify. Or Orlando Brown just need to go worry about when he gonna get his next hit. Ain't nobody gonna bring no crazy ass, inconsistent, uh, uh, uh scatterbrained, drug addicted, wishy-washy. Just ain't nobody gonna bring his ass on no damn platform to say nothing. Not a real platform. It's not to say that everything he says is a lie, but you can't believe none of it because you don't know which parts are the lies. Like he'll say something, he'll sound sane as hell, and then the next minute he crazy. So he's unpredictable as hell. Ain't no way in hell he would be testifying. Ciao, bye. He a mess. Lovely one said men who are 55 can only do one hit and quit it. Oh, a hit and quit it. Unless Diddy on the blue pill. Child. I hear you. Now I will put X-Lax in his coffee so he can spend a whole day or two in the bathroom while I make. No, I don't think you would want that with him because he would find another place to put that ish. Literally, he would find a place to put that shit, and it will be somewhere you don't want it because he's nasty. He's nasty. Okay, he's nasty. Hey Danielle, they said Carisha was upset he had a baby because she asked him to have a child with her, and he said no. Uh, she better count the lucky stars. Hey Fedora, count her damn lucky stars. He needs to testify right after Jaguar. Whatever. Ain't nobody gonna put neither one of them on there on the damn stand. And they might not want to put no Al B. Sure on it either, because I don't know about Al sometimes either. Al ain't the best witness either. Jesus. I don't know. I don't know. Shirley's divorce finally said Diddy belong up under the jail like Nesto. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm gonna say this though. I think they're gonna have to show me. I can't wait till I see more evidence to explain this idea that this is trafficking. Um I want to know more about the drugs. I want to know if there was drugs in. I want to know about the drugging. I want to know about the if the baby oil has something else in it. I want to know about the GUNs that they say he could have possibly have been trading. That's what I want to know. Was he trafficking other things, like arms and drugs? Was he doing that? Because I think those things, if you have evidence of those things, then those are clear wins, right? Because you're going to have some clear evidence. I think the trafficking thing, and look, I don't know what they got, right? I'm not doing this. I didn't do the investigation, so I don't know what they had. But I just think that this it's going to be hard when you've got these adults, and the adults are uh, involved in this type of activity, and you got videos that make it look like the people are enjoying it. Now you got to take somebody's word for it that they weren't enjoying it. And I'm not saying that they were. I'm not saying that I would like it. I'm not saying that I don't understand how someone could dislike it and still participate in it out of fear. All of that. I just think that it's going to be hard to prove that. Now, on the flip side, it's like, this is the child. Who am I talking about? These are this the FBI. You know what I'm saying? These people do this shit for a living. I mean, these are the feds. The feds don't they have a 95% rate. So I gotta trust that they know what the fuck they're doing, and they know what the fuck they need in order to win, and that's why they have a 95% conviction rate. So that's where I have to trust them. But I just think in my mind that it would be hard. It's gonna be hard. Okay. All right, let me get back into this so we can get caught up. All right, now there is a picture of um Mark Garagos's daughter, Teeny Garagos, who is one of Diddy's attorneys. It says Teeny Garagos, one of Sean Combs' lawyers, sought to paint Mr. Combs as a flawed individual who had an unconventional sex life in her opening statement on Monday. And then they have her full statement where we could read that. I'm not going to do that because we don't have a whole lot of time. I do have another show to do tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific, but we'll talk about that later. Sean Combs is a complicated man, but this is not a complicated case. This case is about love, jealousy, infidelity, and money. Girl, bye. It's about love, child. Okay, so let's get back into it. Before Cassandra Ventura's testimony, Sean Combs' children and other family members gathered outside the courtroom in a circle with their heads bowed to pray. When Ventura entered the courtroom, Combs turned to look at her, but Ventura stared straight ahead. Combs took notes at times during her testimony. While testifying, Ventura spoke in a calm and measured tone, her voice sometimes catching or quieting to a whisper. And the jurors are focused entirely on her. During previous witnesses' testimony, they were looking around the courtroom at times. Mm-hmm. Says after a break, Cassie has returned to the stand wearing a light yellow coat, and the judge had remarked that the courtroom was cold. Okay, courtroom was cold. Um, so I feel like sometimes we see Cassie in some of these pictures, and I'm now in hindsight, I'm wondering what is she thinking at these different times. That's when she shaved her head. Um, I heard Young Jock talking about, and you guys probably have heard this too. Said in an interview, I don't know if it was on Vlad, it was on somebody's, I think it was Vlad, that he was interviewing with, and Young Jock was saying that he had gone out to dinner or something, or to a club or somewhere with Puffy and Cassie and maybe a couple other people, and somebody came over to the one of the servers came over to serve them or wait on their table, and that person had their head shaved. And when Puffy saw it, he told Cassie that she should, either that she should or she needs to shave her head. And the next thing you know, the head was shaved. So in some ways, it sounded like, without Jacques even realized that's what he was doing, because I think he tried to tiptoe back out of it. It spoke to his control. This man's even telling her how to wear her hair. It's almost as if I hated her hair like that, to be quite honest. I did. I hated it. And she's a gorgeous girl, but I hated it. I think there's a way to do that shave thing on the side with a lot of hair and it still look feminine. Like Shantae Moore did it. It looked feminine. I liked it when Tisha Campbell has done it. I don't like this. But I feel like on some level it was, I don't know. I don't know why he made her do that. I think sometimes people make you do things just to see if you'll do it, just because they can make you do it, you know? So, anywho. All right. So the prosecutor questioning Cassie, uh, Emily Johnson, has picked back up with the discussion of the singer's music career, which Ventura described as stifled amid her relationship with Sean Combs. Ventura testifies that her manager, James Cruz, told her that he was managing her with one hand tied behind his back, she says. He meant that decisions about her career also had to go through Combs, the head of her label, and also her boyfriend. So, in other words, your manager works for your label, and your boyfriend is your label head and the boss of your manager and the boss of you and your body and your coochie. I can't. Cassie describes Diddy's close attention to and control over her appearance. She says he commented on it daily and made specific demands. He preferred her nails to be painted white, had discussions with her about breast implants, and said at least once that her hair looked too Mexican. Not too Mexican. She says she spent a lot of time grooming herself for the freak offs. I had to look a certain way during freak offs, she said, adding that the tenor of his comments about her appearance had a major effect on her self confidence. Of course it did. And that's why he did it. That's precisely why he did it. At times in their relationship, Cassandra Ventura says that Diddy or his security would take away her electronic devices, including her laptop or phone. She would get them back eventually. It depended on how long I was being punished for. Not I am being punished like I am your child. No, I'm not your child. Mm-mm. No way. No, sir. You is not my daddy. Okay? You is not my daddy. Damn shame. The prosecution has shifted to focus on associates of Sean Combs with whom Cassie had contact. One is Tony Fletcher, a former Bad Boy executive. Ventura says that she discussed financial issues with her. Another is Christina Coram, who was once a chief of staff for Combs and knew the ins and outs of Ventura's schedule. Ventura is now identifying members of Combs' security detail. Okay. The case is just not about the conduct of Sean Combs, but about the conduct of his employees as well. The government is beginning to get into these details by identifying individuals who Cassandra Ventura says follow Combs' orders, including a security guard named D-Rock. Ventura says that he was one of the people who went looking for her when Combs did not know her location. He can't get you on the phone, so he's going to send his security to find your ass. All right. So Ventura testifies about a time in which she said she and Sean Combs were having a freak off at one of his homes in Los Angeles when one of his security guards, D-Rock, alerted Combs that Suge Knight, a longtime music industry rival, was at a diner in the city. She says they immediately started getting ready to go meet him, which made her scream and cry in fear. They all left in an SUV, and she was handed a gun to put in her purse. That sounds familiar. He's still doing that. He's still doing that. He gave her a GUN, a pow pow, to put in her purse as they went over to the diner. She says they immediately started getting ready to go meet him, which made her scream and cry in fear. They all left in an SUV, and she was handed a pow pow to put in her purse. She says that was not the only time she was asked to handle a pow pow for Combs, which terrified her. This testimony mirrors an account from her in her 2023 lawsuit. It also mirrors what he supposedly did with J-Lo back in the day when that lady came out here and told us she saw where that pow pow came from and who pow powed her in her face. Mess. For their first freak off, Sean Combs arranged for a dancer from Las Vegas to have sex with Cassie. She testifies. They took ecstasy and drank alcohol, she says, adding that she felt dirty and confused after, but she felt she could say no to continue. That she could not say no to continuing the encounters. I didn't want to make him upset, she says. I didn't want to make him angry and regret telling me about this experience that was so personal. After the freak offs started, Cassie testifies that they became almost weekly, y'all. Weekly for years. Weekly. There are 52 weeks in a year, baby. She was having them weekly. My God. Cassie testifies that the freak-offs could last 2 to 3 days with no sleep despite her desire to get rest. Drugs helped keep them awake, she says. Choking back tears, she testifies that the encounters made her feel disgusting and humiliated. She says that Sean Combs was a different person during those events, and when she displeased him, his eyes go black. The version of him I was in love with was no longer there, she testifies. Jesus. Cassie says that she wanted Sean to to know that these freak-offs made her feel horrible and worthless, like she had nothing else to offer as a person. She says she expressed those concerns to him multiple times, but he was pretty dismissive. Now, this is the part that made me also want to throw up in my damn mouth. Okay. The juror says emails between Ventura and Sean from 2010. I'm sorry, they saw emails from 2010, and her contact name for him was Pop Pop. She testifies that he made her use that nickname for him because it was what she called her grandfather. Let me repeat that. Her contact name for him was Pop Pop. She testifies that he made her use that nickname because it was what she called her grandfather. She says, I thought it was weird. She says on the stand. In the email exchange, Cassie makes a sexual invitation to Combs, and Combs responds by asking, want to call someone? Referring to an escort. She replied that she wanted to just be with him, and she wrote that she wanted to talk to him about something. Now, you don't want to do anymore. I already know, Combs replied, adding, you so predictable. She testifies that she interpreted his message as him dismissing her expressions of discomfort with the arrangement. So now she's telling him, look, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be with you. I don't want to be with all these other people. And we paid him to do me when you over there watching and you beating off. Why don't you just be with me? We ain't got to call them. And he's saying, nah, see, I knew you didn't want to do it no more. You're so predictable. So now she's shamed into continuing. Dirty piece of shit. Ventura is now listing the places where she and Sean Combs had freak offs. They occurred mostly in hotels, she says, including in New York, New York City, Miami, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Las Vegas. Is what's Ibiza? Where's Ibiza? I'm not familiar with that. Ibiza and Turks and Caicos. She says that she sometimes booked the hotel rooms, as did Tony Fletcher, a bad boy employee. They would book under pseudonyms, Ventura testifies, including Frank Black and Frank White. Now, just to be clear, when you go check into a hotel, now this is what I know. Now, unless they done changed it, which I doubt that they have, everybody in the hotel has to, I mean, if your name is on a room, right? You have to check in under your real name. You have to show your ID. Your name needs to match that ID or a confirmation number, right? If you have a confirmation number. If you're going to put a name, that doesn't mean that that's the name that has to stay on the hotel room. You can then, because that name has to be on the record somewhere. But if they are going by a different name, then you can change the name on the room, but their real name still has to be somewhere on the record. All right. So just so we're clear, any one of us can go right now, check into a hotel, and then change the name on the room. And that way, when somebody calls or they're looking for you, they can't find you unless they know what your alias is. Okay. Now, Ventura is now testifying about the details surrounding the freak-offs. Assistants and security guards would stock the room with condoms, baby oil, and Astroglide, a lubricant, she says. She testifies that Sean Combs asked that the baby oil be heated and that he wanted her glistening with it, requiring that she applied it in frequent intervals. The encounters were very choreographed and experiences directed by Combs, she says. She needed to be glistening. I still need to know if there was something in that baby oil. From this testimony so far, I could not pick up that they believed anything was in that baby oil. Because she doesn't say like, okay, I put it on all the time and I put so much on it that I was glistening and then I couldn't feel my toes. Or then next thing I knew, I collapsed because I was paralyzed. Or next thing I know, I'm high as a kite and I didn't even realize it. We haven't heard any of that. So I don't know if there was really anything in that baby oil or there wasn't anything at this particular time. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, my God, listen. So once Ventura says Sean Combs asked her to get into a blown up pool filled with baby oil inside a hotel room. She says she was wearing her clothes and shoes and didn't want to, but at that point, I couldn't say no because she was worried about his temper. Something that Sean wanted to happen. That's what was going to happen, she testifies. My God. Ventura is deep into testimony about the sexual encounters known as freak-offs at the center of the prosecution's case. Ventura described them as elaborate sex marathons with another man that fulfilled Combs's desire for voyeurism, and she testified that freak-offs quickly made her feel disgusting and humiliated, but that Combs was not receptive to her concerns. All right. Now, okay, hold on. All right. The prosecutor, Emily Johnson, is asking Ventura for a detailed description of what a hotel room would look like after freak offs. And Ventura says that there would be baby oil all over the walls and the door handles. There would sometimes be blood on the linens. Blood. Jesus. Not blood. Okay, Ventura said that there will be baby oil all over the walls and the door handles. There would sometimes be blood on the linens because she was expected to have freak offs while ministrating. Oh, that's where I forgot about that part. And there could be urine on the sheets because Sean Combs would sometimes direct an escort to urinate on her. She did not want that to happen, she says, but there were no conversations about her preferences. It was a turn on for him, so it happened, she says. Why didn't you say no when that happened? Johnson asked. I thought that it was obvious that I didn't want to do it, Ventura replies. And I know that's not going to be helpful. They're going to eat that part up. You already know that. They're going to eat that up, the defense, when they do their cross tomorrow. After a break, Ventura is back on the witness stand. She is testifying that she was directed by Sean Combs to hire escorts for freak-offs, at first finding them through classifieds such as Craigslist or Backpage. Later on, she found a service called Cowboys for Angels, which has a website that offers male escorts. The defense has noted that this service was far from underground. It was featured in a Showtime reality series called Gigolos. Now, Ventura testifies that she would tell the escorts that it was her husband's fantasy to watch her having sex with another man. Cassandra Ventura says that escorts were paid in cash, typically $1,500 to $6,000. Sometimes Sean Combs brought the cash, she says, and sometimes a member of his security team brought it. She testifies that she was not aware that the whole situation was not legal, prompting Judge Subramanian to instruct the jury to disregard that comment. Now, Cassie is running through a list of many escorts who she says participated in freak-offs, sometimes traveling to get there, and the men use names like Dave, Jules, and the Punisher. Not the Punisher, child. Ventura lists the drugs that she says that Sean Combs provided to participants for freak-offs: ecstasy, cocaine, marijuana, ketamine, mushrooms, whatever was the drug of choice at that point, she says. She took the drugs for disassociating and to have some kind of buffer from what she was experiencing. I can only imagine. I would be high day and night, night and day. Give me all the drugs. Give me all the cocaine, all the heroin, all the crack, all the meth. all of the PCP, all of the ecstasy. Give me all of it. I need all the fentanyl. I need all of it. I need everything. Give me every single thing. And I don't even want to know my name. I don't want to know who my mama is. I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to be in my whole mind. I need to be outside of my mind. Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. Cassie testifies that the drugs she relied on during freak-offs to separate herself from the experience often made her feel sick. Sometimes she says she felt like she wanted to vomit. If we were in a freak-off, he would be encouraging me to get up and continue on with it in that condition. Uh, mm, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. After a brief recess, court is back in session and Cassie has returned to the stand. It has been a day of grueling graphic testimony from Ventura about her experience with freak-offs and her troubled relationship with Combs, and it is not over. Once again, the government is asking her about how they acquired drugs for the encounters. Okay? Q and Brandon. Brendan. That's his name. Isn't that the drug mule? I'm sure Brendan will come up at some point. Because they say allegedly that Brendan is the mule that travels from here to there and everywhere to bring the drugs for the freak offs. But we shall see. Ventura has been testifying for most of the day in extensive detail about her actual encounters at the center of the prosecution's case. Drug-fueled ex-marathons with male people who sell their bodies that were known as freak-offs. She has recounted how Combs directed her to perform, actually how his associates would set up hotel rooms for the events, and how she would use drugs to distance herself from experiences that she did not want to be a part of. And I get it. Okay? Look at her. She's so pretty too. Like now, every time I see her in a picture and she ain't smiling, it's got me thinking. It's got me feeling away. Mm, mm, mm. Ventura is describing the typical escalations of a freak off according to Combs's fantasy. He was controlling the whole situation, she testifies. He was directing it. Ventura is continuing to give very graphic and explicit testimony about what happened in freak-offs, but her comments about how it all made her feel are the most powerful. I was an object, being heavily objectified by men in that scenario, she says. Combs's level of control is the undercurrent of much of the testimony about freak-offs. Ventura has talked about choking after men urinated in her mouth and raising her hands to beg for it to stop. Escorts were paid less if they ejaculated at times other than when directed. Drugs were used as fuel. The prosecution is trying to make the point that Combs was in charge of everything that happened, including the humiliation. Now, Sean Combs was often in the room or right beside her during the freak-offs, Cassie says. If he wasn't in the room, he would sometimes watch over FaceTime, she says. Within the first year of the encounter, he began recording the freak-offs, and Ventura says that she often asked for them to be deleted, or she deleted them herself. I never wanted anyone to ever see me like that, she says. All right. So Cassie is now talking about what happened in her life at the time Sean Combs assaulted her in a hotel hallway in March of 2016, a couple of days before she was scheduled to have her first big movie premiere, she says. Combs has sent a text message that she interpreted as him wanting a freak off as damage control. She says she told him she would do it. If I pleased him with a freak off, she says, then my premiere would run smoothly. An escort named Jules was there, she said. The beating by Combs during the freak off gave her a black eye. At this point, all I could think about was getting out of there safely, she says. I had my premiere and I didn't want to mess it up. Cassandra Ventura is currently watching surveillance footage of her in a hotel elevator bank in 2016, barefoot, trying to leave the building when Sean Combs appeared in a towel and throws her to the ground. After Combs threw her to the ground, Ventura says she covered her face and stayed on the ground because she didn't want him to do any more damage than he had already done. Cassandra Ventura is asked how many times in her relationship with Sean Combs he had thrown her to the ground as seen in that hotel video. And she says too many to count. Now, the defense fought hard to get surveillance video showing Sean Combs assaulting Cassie in the hotel hallway in 2016 excluded from the trial. It was published by CNN last year, and the defense argued that it was presented out of order and sped up. A judge denied their request, and before playing it for the jury, the prosecution had the video slowed down. And here's the thing. So if they slowed it down, then that proved that it hadn't been slowed down for CNN. But like I said yesterday, I don't give a damn if you speed it up, slow it down, play it normal, play it backwards, play it forwards. It doesn't matter. The shit is brutal. It is brutal as hell. And it is barbaric. Just disgusting. So it says testimony is now done for the day. And Cassandra Ventura will return to the stand tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Now, there was one part, though, and they didn't go into detail there, and I'm not trying to be super nasty, but when they talked about, they really skipped over that. Hold on. Yeah, because they skipped all the way off of this one. She talked about what happens, like once the escort would ejaculate on her, Sean would want his cream to be placed onto him. And did I not hear them say that he would suck it out of her? I do remember him saying, she said that he would want it placed, rubbed on him, this man's juices. Puffy would want the escort's juices that were released on her to be transferred onto him. They would go into a separate room and he would want it on him, and that he would want it on his nipples. And then if that person would have ejaculated inside of her, he would suck it out of her. I cannot. Okay. That was a lot. So the New York Times, they skip right over that one. And I understand why, because this shit'll make you throw the fuck up, right? It's wild, y'all. It's wild. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let me see. Baby, it's a lot going on. It is a lot going on in that woman's life. I'm glad that she has found someone who seems to love her. I pray that he is a good man and that he really is not an abuser either. I hope that, and it doesn't appear to be. He does there. I don't have any reason to believe that he is. I'm just saying, I just really, really hope that he is really here for her and loves her and is a good husband and father to their children. She's having her third child with this man. My God. And I hope that all this can be put to rest, that all of it can be put to rest when this trial is over and she can go on and live her best life and not worry about anything after that. But this is a lot. Okay. That was a lot to take in. When I heard that he's sucking shit out, I was done. I was done. I was glad we finished for the day. Because how else are you? We have to finish for the day after hearing some shit like that. Do you hear me? Hey, Make It Rain. I'm glad Cassie was able to walk out of there alive and able to tell her story. Me too. Me too. And she ain't done telling it. They expect her to be on this damn she gonna probably be on here till Friday. She's gonna be on the stand until Friday, or unless she goes into labor first. Because they have to I don't know if the prosecution is done questioning her. But if they are done, now it's time for the cross. Then the Westminster can come back for more. The prosecution can come back and ask some more clarifying questions, and then there could be another recross or something like that. So this could go on for a minute, But she was definitely gonna be on that damn stand, I would guess, until the end of the day Friday. Man, I just can't. Yes, Danielle. Yes. And that he would want the man's juices to be put on his nipples, and I guess she was supposed to lick that, I guess. But if the man had done his business up inside of her, he was gonna suck it out. That is some shit I cannot. I just don't even understand that. No. Yes, yeah. It sounds like it, Sonya. Sonya's white muscle shirt show is. Yeah. What you say, Fedora? Suck it out. And then ask the guy if he really did. I can't. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot. So nasty. What you said, only black not better. I'm guessing his kids know that their dad is a scumbag and were possibly on the property during the escapades. Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm sure. I bet some of the sons, well, allegedly, a couple of the sons have participated, allegedly, or have mirrored some of the same traits that their father have mirrored have displayed. It's that's unfortunate, but yep. um for sure they were at the white parties. They also know the drug mule. They know all them people. They know everybody involved, even if they weren't there. They know his staff. They know his friends. They know these people. So yeah, yeah, it's a lot. He is a deviant. He definitely is. Yep. Well, any other questions or comments? We're gonna come back tomorrow because we definitely got more to talk about. We're gonna hear more from Cassie. I'm sure she's got some more bombshells to share with us. Shirley's divorce finally said, Lord, I hope Brian still don't do the cross for the defense. He's a good attorney. He is a good attorney. No, we think that it's gonna be the black lady. Miss Westmoreland. That is who we believe will be cross-examining her. One, she's black. She's a female, obviously, and she is a DV survivor, if you will. So it will be interesting to see how she handles it. I do not see them having a man cross-examine her. And she's pregnant. So this is going to be a very interesting dance we see. But I don't know that the prosecution is done with her right now. I don't know if they really are. Yep, it's going to be something. Yep, Diddy is sick in the head, ain't he? Very. Because I would have put my foot down. Do not let these girls come up in this courtroom hearing this shit. It's going to be bad enough when they read it like we reading it. But for them to be in there and hearing this girl say these things, because just too much. Yes, work in progress. They say she is a very good attorney as well. Yep. Sure did hear that. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you all for being here. So just so you know, I am doing our regular Tuesday night show. We will be over at Native Tribe Urban Media's house at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. On the West Coast. I am about to go grab me something to eat and get ready for the show. So meet me over there. We don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but I'm going to find out in just a moment here. Okay. So, anywho, thank you guys for joining me. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. We are going to be covering this Diddy trial each day. I'm going to log in each day at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about the time that court adjourns each day. And we're going to get started on what the tweets and what the updates are saying. We're going to talk about it. And yeah, we're going to do this every day. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you can, please share the live. And if you didn't already, please hit the like button on the way out. Okay. Know that I love y'all to pieces. Ain't nothing, not a damn thing you can do about it. Smooches.